Alright, hi everybody, time for a spring garden update. Pan in, pan in, pan in. Things are happening. Hello. Firstly, we'll start with the chooks. So these are our 12 chooks that we raised from day old. They're 8.5 weeks old now. Starting to reveal their characteristics. That's a rooster by the look of it. He fights everyone, which is fine. See it in his eyes. But this is the temporary cage that I made for him out on the lawn. They came out of the shed about 3 weeks ago. Hello. There's a white Wyandotte. Hello. I think that's a rooster as well. There's an Ancona. Then here's all the crew. Oh no. Hello. Just gonna have some beautiful hens. I don't mind saying I think there's about 7 or 8 hens based on just their feathers and the way they carry on. So for example, we've got 3 Australorps. There's 2 there. They look like hens. That one's the same variety, but it's much more taily, feathery and athletic. And I think that's a boy, so I think we've got 2 and 1 of the Australorps. All the browns are girls. That breed has colouring for a man, black colouring from the start, and these have all been brown all the way through. Anyway, whatever, those are the chooks. They're really fun. I haven't actually filmed my new chook shed or chook house? Coop. Yeah, that'll do. This is it here. The other one was temporary on pallets and it was a bit rickety. This one's on concreted in posts. Amazing ladder that I made myself. I can tell you I've never sworn so much as in when I was making this ladder. So it's lucky it's up. Anyway. Still got, this is the same door. I reused the door off the last one. Got 2 broody girls at the moment. Anything to say? No. And your mate over there, anything to say? And I've just added a 3rd nesting box today. There's also a roof, which I put on using the old sheets of tin because I didn't want to waste them, and it just gives them a bit of a dry area as well. Otherwise they've got their water, they've got their food hanging up from under there, and I can just rake out the poop if Marcy doesn't eat it all. Oi. Now onto the veggies. The spuds are doing really well. This is a temporary spud patch I made ages ago. I think I put in one of the earlier videos, but the spuds are up and doing really well. They're even starting to flower here. We've had a couple of baby spuds that I found just by rummaging under one of the plants. There's 2 types in there. But yeah, we're going to have a good feed of spuds around Christmas time, I reckon, a bit before. Pardon me. Things have just taken off in the last couple of weeks since things have got a bit warm. You can see the grass over there, up in the back paddock behind us. I mow this little strip on my ride-on. The rest of it's grown really quickly after burning last year. Well, I've got new compost bins as well, which I made out of the pallets that used to be the chook pen. So this one's got ready to go black gold in it. That's beautiful stuff. And then I just rotate it. And this one here is got fresh stuff in it. Lastly. And then this one's just like a miscellaneous one. And I've got this compost turner, best thing I've ever bought. But look, I've got lots of compost now. This is just on temporarily, this front bit. And so when I use that bay, I'll just put it on up there. So yeah, that's cool. We'll go into the garden now. First up is the top bed, and it used to have carrots in it. You can see them. Oh, look at my awesome shadow. There's still some carrots left. They've gone for so long, they've been so good. And they're really long carrots too. I'm sure I've done this before, but you know, beautiful length, sort of Dutch baby carroty sort of things. They're good. Radishes going well, lots of radishes. We did some roasted last night actually. They were really good. We've got some sunflowers in there. And then more carrots in here. there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of carrots, which will be carrots. Well, should be carrots for a while, but then if we go to this one, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of carrots in there as well, and 3 rows of beetroots. So they'll be all our staple carrots and beetroots for the year. A few sweet corns in there, which I put in early as a bit of a punt. Look like they're going to go okay, but we'll see. Celery's still going strong. This bed's a bit of a mess at the moment. Not really sure what to do with it. Still got some perennial leeks coming up, or almost ready. The end of the cabbages. The rocket took off really early because we had a spell of heat. Now it's all fallen over. You can see there it's fallen, all of it, out of the bed, and so it's a bit early. It lasted a lot longer the last couple of years, so not sure about that yet. We'll see. Still got quite a few beetroot, carrots, stuff, which I was just miscellaneous plantings. Cabbages never really happened, so they'll come out soon. Swedes, we had a few Swedes roasted, which were really nice. Roasted with honey. Yeah, I don't know that I've eaten Swede before, and it was quite good. More beetroots. Over to this bed. Spring onions are good, they're ready to harvest. I put some early zucchinis in as well a week or two ago. They're going alright, there's a few beetroot in there as well. And actually today, it's quite wet. I've cleared out a bit of silver beet, you can see it up there for the chooks outside the garden. I've planted 2 types of dwarf beans in there, about a dozen of each seed. One of them snake beans, which get to about 30 centimetres long. The other one just a green bean. They'll be good. But my onions, pardon me, will be in there for some time yet. But they're doing well. Also, as are my transplanted carrots. You can see them next to the onions here. They're the ones that came out of the bathtub, which I wasn't sure they would do well, but they seem to be doing okay, so I'm hopeful. Always hopeful. Over here, this was all greens, cauliflowers, but they went in a bit late. And when the weather warmed up, they just started bolting, so a lot of them have come out, leaving behind my spring onions, which were didn't have much attention or opportunity to get sun. So they will still come good, but the greens are coming out. It's quite an empty bed. I've rejuvenated with a bit of my own compost, so hopefully that works out. The kale's still fine. There's still some over there as well. Kale's still fine. You know, take it, chop it up, do whatever. I'll come back to the pots in a sec. These are my tomatoes that I grew from seed. They've been living outside the last couple of days because it's been warmer. And they're ready to go. I've planted some out. I'll put some oh, hang on, the lemon tree's going really well first. It's even got a flower on it. There, it's going to be a flower, so it's exciting. Might get a lemon. Yeah, second year. From this end, marigolds, marigolds, marigolds. A little tomato, green zebra. If I step back, I'll show you the archway. So on the outside of the veggie garden is one archway, and there's a nice, beautiful piece, yellow with pink edges, climbing rose, going to go up the archway. And then inside, I've got scarlet runner beans planted in there on either side. Back to this bed. Whatever, tomatoes, eggplants. Tomato for one of my self-owned sown tomatoes. It's a Castelluto Genovese. Excuse my Italian pronunciation, but that's a big cooking tomato. The magpies are here just a moment. Alright, we're back. Magpies sorted. Jalapenos. Half a dozen jalapeno seedlings. Hopefully they go okay. Love jalapenos. In this bed over here we've got another tomato. We bought some Italian one. Green zebra. Diggers. Thank you, diggers. I love diggers. They're great. When they send seedlings in the mail, that's the one survivor out of 3. And it's touch and go. Anyway, whatever. Lesson learned. And a few red iceberg lettuces, which I transplanted. They've been in pots, but I transplanted them last week. Otherwise more marigolds, and then in the middle is a row of sunflowers, which Megan chose and just planted in there. In here, tail end of the carrots and beets. They've been really good. They were purple carrots, which were okay, but not a long-lasting variety. Yeah, I planted them too densely, but that's life. These are radishes, mini radishes. Just trust me, they're mini radishes, a few carrots in there. Onions, they're going strong, albeit affected by the wind. You can see the little red tails, they're red onions for the most part, but they're quite thick base on a lot of them, so there's a lot of onions in there. Chickies love eating the onions, which is a bit strange, but whatever. My bathtub with my strawberries, going quite well. One didn't make it out of 10, but the other 9 look really good, as you can see. And they're even flowering quite readily since the weather's turned. They're looking good. Garlic's looking good. Starting to get rust off a little bit, but I mean, it's quite old. It's been in for a long time. Can't blame it. The self-set borage is going crazy. It brings in the bees. Yeah, so it's come up really well, and it's thrown them outside the bed as well, which I'm just going to leave and see what happens. It's all good for the garden. My nemesias in pots have gone really well. Look at that, 4 colours in that one. Just exploded. I know Mum doesn't like flowers in the garden, but Mum, that's what's happening. What else? This bed's got strawberries, which look really healthy, and you can see there's quite a few strawberry baubles on it already. They've just been neglected, so I'm really pleased they've done well. Peas. None of them made them inside yet. They're just garden snacks. Pretty happy with that arrangement. Some beetroots in here which look okay. Brussels sprouts just gone to seed. I left a lot of them on. Yeah, I'm just off Brussels sprouts, but whatever. You can see some of them sort of grew in there. Who cares? Nice lettuce. It's beautiful. Don't know what sort, but it's nice. And the middle bed's the perennial bed. It's got all sorts of stuff. It's got perennial nemesias. It's also got sage, and the sage did really well. And then we had storms and it fell over. But it's just kept growing and it's flowering these beautiful purple flowers. It just smells great. Chives next door, they're starting to flower too, but they're powering on. And the thyme, we've got amazing thyme. It's also flowering. The rhubarb's obviously kicked off again. Marigold type things in there to bring the bees in. More nemesias. More perennial leeks. And they just grow in this massive bunch because I've left them. And I can just pull out, you know, a leek or 2 at a time. Beautiful pencil leek, which, you know, you can char and do whatever you want with. It's beautiful. Anyway, that's fine. Now, pots have been a big feature as well. Shadow. These are pots. I've done these before with tomatoes. You just put stakes in and a bit of wire and up they climb, so they're going really well. There's a variety of snow peas and normal peas. Don't know which ones are which. Can't remember. A few tomatoes in pots as well. It's green zebra. The cherries or smaller tomatoes like green zebra work really well. These have just gone in today. That's a Tommy Toe in a funny old pot. That's another, I think that's another Tommy Toe. Yeah, it is. And then pots over here. I've still got lettuces going really well. I'll plant them out a bit more. Zucchini in a pot, I'm just giving that a go. I'm not real comfortable on that, but see what happens. Here's our plum tree. The exciting bit. Woo! Be able to get our gums around some plums, hopefully. I think there's about 10 on there. Which is pretty good for its second year. I did mention in one of the other videos, I gave it a really hard prune, so you can see it's a very compact tree, but yeah, it flowered, so cool. Otherwise the pear tree's gone really well too. This is the experiment with weighing down the branches. But yeah, it's going fine. We'll go over now to the other lemon trees, the other fruit trees. So these are the second year trees. I've skipped the other first year trees because it's not a great deal happening with them. This is an apple. It's either a Jonathan or a Red Delicious. And the other one is also either a Jonathan or a Red Delicious. It flowered a little bit, so that's cool. Hopefully we'll see an apple or 2, but it looks really healthy. It's not a great shape, but doesn't matter. Blueberries, got some blueberry flowers. Again, looks pretty strong. Hope that'll flower, hope that'll fruit, sorry. And this little one too. This one looks much stronger than the other one. He's flowered last year, but I pulled him off to try and get a bit of development in the bush, but whatevs, see what happens. Apricot looks good. Didn't actually flower at all, but that's fine. Can do that next year. This is a first year tree, but given we're down here, we'll do it. And it's a cherry. We grow a lot of cherries in the hills, so I thought we'd give it a go. And it's taken off, actually. Looks really good. But this one's the star. This is the other apple. It's either a Red Delicious or a Jonathan. But yeah, it's a beautiful shape. It's got absolutely mountains of blossom on it. There's a lot of blossom there, and some of it's already had the petals come off. But yeah, really hopeful that we'll get some apples off that. At least, you know, I don't know, half a dozen, who knows. Anyway, look, that's our garden update. Things are going well, the season's turned. It's nice to see my Auntie A's garden. Hope to see others as well. But I hope everyone's well. And I'll see you later.